Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the third episode. Last time, of course, again, we saw the reason as to why they are missing, well, limbs or the entire body in the case of Al. And yes, as I said in the last video, it is still hard for me to watch all those scenes. Yes, I know what is going to happen. I knew the reason as to why they lose their body parts. I knew all that backstory. But it's still, that doesn't make it easier. It is a very strong scene and it's a very well done scene. But now in that episode, they explain a lot more stuff that they used to explain in spreading it out during the whole duration of the anime. No, they did it in one episode and they present an important character, in this case, the teacher. So, yeah, it is fascinating. And again, there are several reasons as to why everything is happening and as to why Ed is capable of doing the transfiguration without a circle. So, yeah, it is again a fascinating episode with a lot, and I mean a lot of information and a very hard to solve information above anything else. Because, yeah, when you think about it, these guys were 12, perhaps 11 years old when all of that tragedy happened. So, yeah, it is pretty harsh once you start to think everything surrounded their circumstances, why they are state alchemists, and why are they pursuing the philosophical stone. So it is again a fascinating episode, and yes, this is a fascinating anime. One of my favorites back in the day, but they say this is even better than the last version. So yeah, so far I agree. So far, I agree in several regards. But anyway, yeah, I spoke about this enough in the last episode. So yeah, let's just cut all of these and watch the next one, shall we? Oh man, so many memories.
こいつがレトさんか。レト教に興味がおありですか？いや、あいにくと無宗教でね。
Okay,
いけませんね、それは。
but I don't know how they are going to judge him in this town that is filled.
素晴らしいことでしょう。信ずれば、きっとあなたの身長も伸びます。
I love how she's so, yeah, so cute.
死せる者に復活を本気で信じているのか？水35リットル、炭素20キログラム。
Yeah, the portion of the human body, yes.
リン800グラム、塩分50グラム、硝石100グラム、その他もろもろ。
は？
大人一人分として計算した場合の。
Yeah, but
今の科学ではここまで分かってるのに、実際に人体錬成に成功した例は報告されていない。
yeah.
ことが祈ったらできるのか？
祈り信じよ。さすれば汝が願い。
Yeah, but there's something deeper in here.
この成分材料な、市場に行けば子供の小遣いでも全部買えちまう。
Seriously.
人間ってのはお安くできてんな。
兄さん。
おった。お嬢さん、今みたいなことを考えてた科学者でもレト様はお救いくださるでしょうか？
He's trying to infiltrate and get close to this Leto guy. Thanks to the stone in your finger.
法則を無視した錬成がどういうわけかできちゃってるんだよね。
だから錬金術ではないと。
そこで思ったんだけど、錬金術師が使えば不可能。
Yes, the philosophical stone, but okay, I'm not gonna say anything.
できるんじゃないかなってさ。
あの？
そう、ズバリ剣じゃないし、その指輪がそうじゃねえのか。探したぜ。
これはただの指輪だ。私は神から奇跡の技を。
Yeah, nobody's buying that crap.
どうやらとっ捕まえて体に効かなきゃならねえようだな。
君は年がたい異教徒のようだね、ロゼ。 そこに落ちている銃を拾いなさい。
はい。
Yes, they are completely in his control.
それで鋼の錬金術師を撃つのだ。
そんな。
She still has a lot of morals, yes.
神の御言葉。これは神のご意志なのだ。
I hate when people use that.
撃ちなさい。
I love how they get angry. Dude, you could have a point. I love how everybody's surprised about that. Dude, you could have been saved. Oh, yeah, the pride.
あいつはペテン師だぞ。
違う。コーネル様は奇跡の技であの人を蘇らせてくれるわ。
じゃあ撃て。どうもこうも。
こういう。
Yes, this is alchemy.
これこそ連中の邪悪さを証明するものだ。排除すべき存在なのだ。
And he's going to call the entire town on them. Oh no! Yes, I forgot about this.
キメラを見るのは初
The
め
fucking
てか。
chimeras, man.
賢者の石を使ってこんなものまで作りやがったのか。こりゃ丸腰はきつそうだな。
Now that's a truly talented alchemist. I love the effects.
錬成時なしに国家錬金術師の縄立てではない。だが
Oh, that thing is flawless.
鉄を切断する爪の味は。
なんちってね。
Oh, yes.
あいにくと特別性でね。
神殺せ。
Eh, not going to happen.
しっかり味わえよ。
Oh,
おお。
yes.
鎧だけの弟。そうか、そういうことか。鋼の錬金術師。
That looks so cool.
やらかしおったな。
降りてこいよドサンニュ。格の違いってやつを見せてやる。
今度こそ神の元へ送り届け。
Yeah, it doesn't shade. Oh, holy. Yeah.
俺って神様に
Yes.
追い返されると思うぜ。
Because he literally met God. Holy. Oh, a door.
教団は私のためなら喜んで命も捨てる。
Yeah, he's an asshole.
死をも恐れぬ。
But I think this is a trap.
見ているがいい。あと数年の後に私はこの
Yeah, his plan is to conquer the country.
賢者の人バカ信者どもを使ってな貴様にもそのおこぼれぐらいは分けてやろう。
You're an idiot. You fell for the trap.
何がおかしい。
だからあんたは三流だっつんだよ。
Yes, exactly. I knew it. You're a moron. Yeah, I forgot a lot of stuff here.
奇跡の技なんてないんだ。みんな賢者の石の力だよ。
Yeah. And everybody knows now.
このガキ。
Oh.
だだろ格が違うってよ。
Holy. Yes, I forgot about this part. Oh, look at the size of that guy. Oh.
私の言葉は神の言葉。この拳は神の拳。
何が神の拳だ。そんなに好きならくれてやる。
Oh. Yes. And the power is over. Oh.
賢者の石見せろ。
And that's it. That's the whole thing. It wasn't a philosopher's lesson. It was something else.
壊れた。どういうことだ。
賢者の石は
It was a fake. Yeah.
いや、体を元に戻せると思ったのにな。
賢者の石を渡して。なぜ
Yeah, she wants to do something.
飛んだパチモンだって。それに勝手に壊れちまった。
嘘よ。独り占めする気なんでしょ。
No, that's not true.
そうよ。それにお母さんだってもう一度。
黙れ。死んだ人間は生きてる。
Yes, they have accepted that.
二度と。
But she hasn't.
生き返るって言ったのよ。祈れば叶うって言ったのよ。
Yeah, that's not true.
これから私は何にすがって生きていけばいいのよ。教えてよ。
It's always hard to see somebody like that.
立って歩け。前へ。
That is how you should be doing.
あんたには立派な足がついてるじゃないか。
Okay, yes.
何にもすがる必要なんてない。
This, of course, they changed in the episode.
ねえラストこのおっさん食べていい？
ダメよ。
Yeah, loss of gluttony.
食べたらお腹壊すわ。
どいつもこいつもバカにしろって。
Yeah, because you're going to be able to feed them, you moron.
あなたもう用済み。
Oh.
せっかく盛り上がったのに。また一からやり直しね。
Oh.
さて、次はどんな手を使おうかしら。
Yeah, that's awful. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop it there because I know what is going on. Those are spoilers. So yeah, the third episode of this installment of the Fullmetal Alchemist series, this is actually very close to the first episode in the last one. So yeah, I'm kind of used to this, but still, that shows that I forgot a lot of stuff from the show. I remember vaguely the major plots, but not every single detail, which is good, which is going to make a good kind of blind reaction. But yeah, as always, I'm gonna watch this again and be back with my comments. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the third episode of Fullmetal Alchemist. And yeah, just yesterday I watched the third episode of Mob Psycho. And it gave us a little bit of the same plot. The dangers of a cult in different ways, in different perspective. Mob Psycho used really the ridicule to show how pathetic a cult really is and a cult mentality really is. This anime shows a little bit of seriousness in the matter. Of course, it still adds a little bit humor. It shows the leader as a ridiculous and pathetic being in the end, and it uses kind of similar strategy, but it feels different in this case. I'm not saying which one is better than the other. No, both are different ways of treating a similar topic, because it's not completely equal. But yeah, let's speak in order and scene by scene. They start, of course, when they arrive to the city of Lawyer, I think is something like that, which is of course a town or a city that prays the Leto cult. I don't know if Leto is supposed to be the name of the god or something like that. That is what I assume it is, and of course the high priest Cornelio. Yes, we start with a little bit of a silly stuff. In this case, a performance by Al by repairing the radio that he broke when he hit the freaking the high portion. Of course, this episode is very similar to the first episode of the last series, but with some differences here and there. I don't recall exactly what happened in the first episode of the last series. I don't recall second by second and scene by scene, but I do remember that in certain moment they start to pray. All of them start to pray in the presence of the Elric brothers. So yeah, that is kind of different. But anyway, yes, this performance brings them. Oh yes, you're the famous Elric brothers, and you must be the Fullmetal Alchemist. And yes, it's obvious why they call you that. All of this referring to Al in this case, which of course, again, always the same mistake. They always make the same mistake. They believe Al is the Fullmetal Alchemist, which is of course not the case, and they make fun of the short stature of Ed. So yeah, I love this, and of course they are here to investigate the supposed miracles that keep happening in this city, because it's something weird. Yes, even if you consider it as alchemy, is it doesn't respect the laws that it should follow, as they said before. And yes, once they saw the high priest Cornelio perform, they know that is something fishy, and they think that is the philosophical stone that gives such advantage to the priest, because yes, he can do almost anything with anything he has at his reach. So yeah, they obviously go to the church and speak with another character that is not going to appear until I don't know how much, because yes, I don't know if they're going to follow the same formula that we're going to see her later on, or it's going to be something different. So yeah, as I was saying before, they visit her, but they visit the church, and they saw her praying, and they start to have a little bit of a discussion. Of course, we figured out that Edward is an atheist, and of course this collides with the mentality of Rose, which she has such a high faith, such a big faith in everything that Cornelio said, because well, she has seen said miracles. That's why she believes so vehemently to Cornelio. So yes, I love this collision of ideals. And speaking from Edward's perspective, because yes, he believes that science is the answer to everything, because he has seen science in action. He has seen all the things that science can do. Cars, the same alchemy. In this world, alchemy is not magic, it's not something strange. It's science. It's precise science. If you want to create something, you need to know exactly what you need to create said something, and what do you need to grab, and those things must be on your reach, because you cannot make appear a metal, let's say, without the help of the philosophical stone. So yeah, within the rules of this world, yes, an alchemy is simply another ramification of science. Of course, in our world it's completely different, but that's another case. And this, of course, as I said before, collides with the attitude that everything is possible through fate that Rose has. She has this attitude because she has seen, and she wants to believe because she lost somebody important to her. If I remember correctly, and by the hints that are given in this episode, it was, I don't know, it was her husband or her fiancé. I'm not entirely sure of which one is the correct one, or just her boyfriend or something like that. But yeah, she lost him, and of course Cornelio promised that he's going to revive him. That's why she's so clinging to this religion, because she wants to believe that she's going to see her loved one once again. Just like the Elric brothers when they try to revive their mother. And that is what I love, this metaphor that Edward used, that the closer you are to the sun, the wax in your wings are going to disappear, and you're going to be plumbing back down to the earth. Yes, this speaks volumes, because he's not only speaking about the myth of Icarus, he is speaking about themselves, because they were so close to the taboo. They were closer and closer to the most difficult part of alchemy, the human transmutation. Nobody was able to do it. They believed they were able to. They were too close to something so dangerous and so, let's say, so close to God, using the same words they use in the animation. And yes, they pay a high price. As I said in the previous video, Ed paid the price of a leg just for the knowledge that he possessed now. Just for that. He was kind of forgiven, because the highest price was paid by Alphonse. His entire body. He was supposed to die in that day, but his soul, he was still around this realm, so he could be sealed within the armor. But of course, there is always a price to pay. In this case, an arm. Edward has to pay an arm for him to be able to connect Alphonse's soul to the armor. So, yeah, it is a very interesting metaphor that you're using. And of course, this discussion you're having. You're seeing both arguments and you will decide what is the correct one according to yourself, to your own beliefs, or to your own disbeliefs. But I love something else in here. Because yes, after a little bit of a joke, in the beginning that if you have faith, you can grow taller. Because yes, everybody's making fun of his short height. With a good reason. But yeah, after the joke, the conversation turns into a very serious conversation. But of course, Edward trying to gain a little bit of trust or just to get closer to Cornelio, he can say, okay, yeah, maybe I'm going to repent, but do you think Leto has a place for me because I'm repenting and all that? Yes, of course he wasn't. He was just manipulating this little girl for him. Well, not a little girl, to this girl to get close to the priest. And yes, the priest know that he must be careful around the state, the military state that is, of course, the government of this nation. He knows about the famous Elric brothers because yes, everybody said that he's a prodigy. In this case, Edward is a prodigy, that he can do alchemy like no other. My guess, this is a vague information they have. They don't have the precise information, thanks to a scene later. But yeah, he knows about them, and he's trying to set a trap for them. They say, okay, yes, bring them to me, but we're going to do this, and you're going to kill them. So yeah, they bring it to this kind of underground place and they are about to shoot them. But of course, since the gun is pointing towards Al, and we know that Al is not going to be damaged by a bullet, Edward is not very concerned. So he just attacked the two other, I don't know, priests, or I don't know exactly what they were, acolytes, whatever they are, and of course defeat them. And he attacked, well, I'll attack the other guy and they knock everybody down and they are kind of safe. Of course, Cornelio appears and starts to give orders to Rod that you should kill them because my words are the words of God and this is the God's will and you must do whatever I said because I'm going to revive something dear to you and all that. Yes. And yes, when you have your mind kind of messed up thanks to this obsessive religion, to this terrible stuff they are making you do, that you need to just have faith and not think for yourself, because that is exactly what this guy is trying to make their subjects, or I don't know, followers to do. Just follow him without hesitation, without thinking, without anything, just pure faith. And that is a very dangerous stuff to do, a very dangerous stuff to have. So yeah, she's dubious because yeah, she has really strong morals. From what I have seen from this girl and from what I remember, she has a very strong set of morals. So she's very dubious. But again, I love how they change the freaking ambience with a joke, because yeah, she's pointing towards Al again, and instead of using this to their advantage, no, I said, oh no, I'm not the Fullmetal Alchemist. I am the Fullmetal Alchemist. And yes, everybody's surprised and she changed, she points the gun towards the real Fullmetal Alchemist. I am still not sure what to think about this, because yeah, they should have taken advantage of said mistake. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it's that relevant, because yeah, she's still dubious, she doesn't want to shoot them. She should randomly, she doesn't really know how to even use a gun correctly, because well, she has never touched a gun before. So she knocks back the freaking helmet, and they figure out that thanks to the information that, of course, Al is just an armor, Cornelio deduced that they did the taboo. They tried to use a human transmutation. And said this is a clear testament that they are evil, that they use something that shouldn't have been melded with, because yes, that is the territory of God and all that. And that's when Rose even understands now the metaphor that Edward was using. That's why she understood what they were doing. But yeah, he never said anything after that. And Cornelio just started to transmute his fucking cane into a gigantic freaking gun, a Gatling gun from what I could see. And they start to attacking. And he doesn't care. He just wants to kill them. He doesn't care if he kills Rose in the process. Yes, we are shown a chimera again. I think I forgot about that for a second. And yes, we can see again that when they show the leg, when they show the arm, and that's when they figure out, yes, I did something else. I forgot about the chimera. The chimera is defeated quite easily, and they run away, and they create everything this chaos. Yeah, it's funny because all the acolytes, all the other priests, they don't expect much resistance from these two guys, because I'm assuming they are used to alchemy, or they know that what Cornelio is using is alchemy. At least probably the highest ranking priests know that it's alchemy, and they know that they need a circle, and it's going to take time to draw such a thing. They don't know that Ed is capable of just transmuting things by clapping his hands. So they are surprised and they run away. This is part of the plan, of course. And once they split up, because yes, they do that, Al and Rose are at the top of the freaking cathedral, doing something weird. In that moment, I didn't remember what they were doing. But yeah, he explains what they try to do. They try to revive their mom and all that. And she's kind of sympathetic, but still, she's clinging to the idea that Cornelio is the guy that is going to revive everybody and everything is going to be fine if they just listen to him. She is just desperate because, yes, in this moment I think it's desperation more than faith. Because you start to see your world crumbling for everything surrounding the circumstances in this episode. So my guess is in this moment is more desperation than anything else. And of course everything is part of the plan, because now Ed is down very quietly and kind of pretending to making a deal with Cornelio. They said, okay, yeah, maybe I should bring the military here and just knock on your door to investigate that stone. And he started to explain, yes, this is the philosopher's stone, I can do whatever I want, and once I have enough followers, I'm going to attack the entire nation, because yes, they are so stupid and mindless that they're going to die for me without a question. And that is the problem of a cult. That is the problem I have with obsessive religion, with really fanatism in this case. I'm going to speak about that later on. Yes, he's explained all his evil plan like a dumbass, because yes, he's a complete dumbass. And that's when we figured out what Al was doing with Bell. He transformed me into a giant speaker, and every single person in the town knew that he was a fraud, because he explained that it's not really miracles and anything like that. So now again, the world of Rose is crumbling completely, because now she knows that nobody is going to revive his beloved. I hope he's beloved, because I'm saying that with such confidence right now. Anyway, yeah. And the fight ensues, because now he doesn't have anything else to lose, and he's starting to use or overuse the freaking philosopher's stone. But this backfires and becomes like this part of metal arm, but it's just because it's kind of fused with the weapon and something weird like that. But then he gets tired and transforms this gigantic monster and start to attacking it. We have an amazing fight. I love the choreography in this fight. It's a very short one, but a very interesting one. And yes, the size of the Cornelio in that moment. Hell, the face was bigger than Ed. And yes, I know it's not that much to say something is bigger than Ed, but it's bigger than a 15-year-old with the body of a 12-year-old. Yeah, so they fight, but of course, Ed is a lot more skillful, and he just beats the crap out of Cornelio. And that's when they discover that the Philosopher's Stone was a fake one. Because the Philosopher's Stone should be the perfect substance that cannot be break and cannot be, well, split or something like that. It must be the perfect thing and have all the properties. So yeah, they discover it's a fake, and Ed is disappointed and just orders him to run away. He doesn't give a fuck about him and just runs away, or make him run away. They are outside and saying, okay, it was a fake. There is nothing we can do with that thing because it was destroyed. So yeah, but in that moment we see Rose again, and she is a lot more desperate now. She knows why or how the miracles were performed thanks to the Philosopher's Stone. She doesn't know it's a fake one. And she's so desperate to see her beloved that she's willing to do whatever she can. Well, not whatever. Again, it's a little over an exaggeration in my behalf. Because yes, all the hope that she had, all the hope that she was been building up all those years, just came down. And that is, I think, worse. Taking an idea from The Dark Knight Rises, the Batman movie, the last of the really, really amazing Batman movies. It is a lot worse when you can see hope, but you cannot reach it. You can escape because yes, in this movie, in case you haven't seen it, which is doubtful, there is a big hole. But yes, if you are strong enough or agile enough, you can escape. If you jump, and yes, there are no guards, there are nothing. It's just a hole. If you can crawl out of the hole, you will escape. But that's what makes a worse punishment. Because yes, you are always holding on to something. You need that hope. But sooner or later, you will realize that it's futile trying to escape. You have the hope. You have that string of escape just mere inches away from you, but you can never reach it. That is the worst punishment. Because that gives you the hope that you can escape from this miserable hellhole and to a better life. And that's what happened to Rose. She had such high hopes. She knew, because she believed that her beloved was going to be back with her. That was her hope. But once she realized that it was futile, that she wasn't going to see him again, that's the worst, because she was in such a high point. And when the world crumbled below her, she felt so high and so hard that she didn't have anything else. Because yes, they said it's fake, we don't have it. And she didn't want to believe that. She wanted to believe that they have it and they were going to get it, and she was going to get it, and she was going to revive whoever she wanted. But in the moment she realized that they weren't lying, in the moment she realized that they didn't have the intention of reviving their own mother, because they knew that nobody ever should be revived, or never could be revived. That is when her whole world just hit the ground. And yes, nothing that Edward and Alphonse could say will help her in that moment. She needs to pick herself up, to move forward by herself. Nobody else can help her. And if they do, it stinks, or is a very difficult path not to follow again the same pattern that they followed before. Another religious form, another con artist that said, okay, yes, I'm gonna help you if you help me and all that. So, yes, you need psychological help, but I don't think that exists in this world. So yeah, that is the lowest point for Rose. I think even lowest than in the moment her beloved died, because she was in such high hopes. And yeah, it's a terrible stuff we're seeing here. And yes, I love how the anime treats these scenes very, very seriously. Thanks to the music, the ambience, the colors, everything around this scene is beautiful. And then, of course, we finish with the mob outside of the cathedral getting angrier and angrier because, yes, they were deceived, they were cheated, but of course, they were not willing to just forgive and forget. They want blood. But of course, inside this palace, this cathedral, the priest is running away, the high priest, and he finds two individuals, Loss and Gluttony. I don't want to say much about them because I kind of remember what their deal is. I'm just gonna say these two are very dangerous individuals, and that's it. Okay? And yeah, hell, you can see that from that scene because yes, Gluttony was just eating the chimera, and Loss just killed a man with a finger, literally. So yeah, that is the entire episode. As I said, I stopped before that because I don't remember the order of the episodes. I vaguely remember some stuff and the major plots, yes, but I don't remember everything about every single scene. So yeah, there are going to be stuff that surprised me. Yeah, as I said before, comparing this to the mob episode that I watched yesterday, the religions kind of call that we saw in mob, yeah, this is treated very differently. And why? We know that in the end mob is going to win because, as I said before, one has the tendency of the two characters that he has, both of them are overpowered and very, very, well, almost invincible. Or invincible even. But he writes them in a certain way that is entertaining for you, even if you know they are invincible. When we see Mob, we know that he's going to overcome whatever obstacle he finds. So we know he's going to be fine. How he's been dealt all of this is different. In this case, we know that the Elric brothers are not that powerful, are not invincible, are not these perfect beings that always will get on top of stuff. That's what makes this scene different. But the message is there. And hell, even the ridicule they are shown for these cults, the leaders that are really presented at the beginning like these magnificent figures, they are presented later on as ridiculous and pathetic and weak. And yes, everything is on purpose because once you discover how a cult works, you kind of see that you stripped a leader from all his followers and you find a very pathetic person. That is even worse when they start to believe their own lies. That is the worst case scenario. So yeah, I love how both shows give us this perspective of cults. That they are bad, they are terrible, and yes, you should think with yourself. You should make your own opinions. This is an interesting topic for me. I always find that fascinating. That's why I love episodes like this, that treat these cults and these fanaticisms as they should, not with a good face, not showing them that yes, they are both sides and perhaps they are both right and both wrong. No. The fanatic mentality is a terrible one. because you are blinded to everything else around you. You only see the path that somebody determined for you and nothing else. You see just black and white. White, everything that is follows the same path you're following without looking to other things. Black, the rest. And those are your enemies. So yeah, yes, that's why I love they try to conceive that yes, the fanatism is never good. Never. In any regard. Religious fanatism, sport fanatism, atheist fanatism. None of those are fine. When you reach a level of fanatism, that is the worst that could happen to you. Because you are not blind to everything else. You are not going to understand reasoning at all. So yeah, this is an interesting episode. And yeah, I'm always fascinated by this series, the way it shows us how the world is working around in this particular series. And the topics it choose to show us. I love this series, and I'm so glad that you are able, or I'm able, to share my reaction to this new series with you. So yeah, it was kind of positive that I never watched the Brotherhood, because yes, I was tempted to say, oh no, I'm just lazy and all that. And yeah, I know it sounds pathetic. How can you be lazy by you watching the freaking anime, man? But yeah, I was kind of lazy in that moment. So yeah, that's partially a good thing that I never watched this, because yeah, there's stuff that I don't remember from the original series, and in a certain point you're going to see me that reacting like completely blind. I guess that is going to happen eventually. So yeah, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. I hope you enjoy it, and of course, as always, the only thing I have to say is thank you guys for your comments, for your likes, for your views, and for your subscriptions. If you want to be a subscriber, click on the button for subscriptions and on the bell so you can get notifications. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below. So yeah, thank you guys for your attention. I hope you enjoy this reaction / commentary, and well, see you in the next one. Bye.